Okay, everyone. Good morning. Wanted to give you a update on how Bloom's running under 1604. I'm using Unity interface to throw out any variable with cinnamon in the mix. So just getting it set up here. Okay, so here we are. You load it up. I'm doing this so you can see the memory usage on the side. We're at 156 meg. Let's go ahead and create a new book. Now, in general, what I'm noticing is each page load doesn't seem to ever free up in memory usage. So if I start with just the 6 default pages here, and I would click each one of them, we're going to see memory use climb pretty linearly with each page click, something on the order of 25 meg or so. It's not exact, but I think you can get the idea here. Coming up to 300 now. And then if we add a few pages, I've got a little bit in my clipboard here to save my typing. Okay, let's add about 5 or 6 pages this way. Let's do one more. Okay, now I've got 6 pages, not too big of a book. We're sitting at, 460, well, a little bit higher, somewhere around 460, 480 on memory. But as I would click back to previous pages, even if they weren't freed before, they still add to the memory usage. So here if I click back to a few, let's make a few changes. You can see we're still quite consistently driving that memory higher. Obviously, pretty soon we're going to hit a memory cap. I've noticed at about 850 meg, Bloom will start to warn the user that Bloom's using a lot of memory. Please restart. Yeah, it makes sense, of course, if it's not giving back memory. But even if we let it sit here, you may think that's just slow to clean up, but it won't ever give me that back. It does jump around a bit, but once that baseline starts to rise, it stays up there. Also on the performance side, let's go to a percent here. This is a 4-core, 3rd generation Core i5 processor. So a pretty decent processor, especially compared to what a lot of low-end computers are using these days. Typically, a separate page load really gives me a hit. Well, actually, there's a little bit of a bump. It's not as much as I had been seeing. It's kind of a delayed hit on the processor. It could just be a delay in the reporting here. But it's a fairly heavy performance hit for what should be a fairly clean, just HTML page behind the scenes. Yeah, this is more average, I think. I mean, that's not so bad, actually. I was seeing before maybe a 3, 4, 5 second CPU hit with each page load. If I go ahead and work on images now, notice the cursor here with the flashing. This has been the pet theory of mine since 1204, 1404, anything past with Linux versions of Bloom, that I'm having some sort of focus issue here. It's my theory that these flashing cursor indicators show that I am hopping in and out of focus with this window. So of course that really stresses the system, because it's got to switch keyboarding depending on if you have different keyboards selected for inside of Bloom versus another app like LibreOffice that you're using. And that's, I think, where some of this freeze slash just really slow performance was coming in under 1404, that Cinnamon was showing more seriously than Unity was. But again, right now I'm in Unity. It's not really hitting me hard, but there is a certain CPU threshold overhead running along here. What does it say Bloom's at? I mean, it's not significant, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's not too significant. But anyway, this flashing has been kind of a thing. I guess actually, watch this now. If I'm focused in Bloom, here I am. We've got to watch it quick, but as I get over here, well, okay, we're still at 1. Anyway, let's just strike that for now, but just noticing this flashing kind of shows me that something's going on. A search here will, with a bit of a delay, really show some pretty high CPU usages. It is slow to load here too. There we go. But still we're at full CPU. Okay, we're calming down now. That was fairly intense processor use there. Let's load up another one. We should probably be getting close to max memory now. Okay, no, we're still at 688. Okay, we should, with a couple of these though, drive it up to 850, and you'll get to see the memory use error. Yep, there's the delayed CPU hit on the search. I'm not suggesting it's not needing to use CPU to do this search, but I think in comparison to Windows it is quite heavy. So that was a 10-second range, more than 10 seconds on the search for cat. Again, if I would then jump around a few pages, I think we're very close to hitting our threshold. Let's jump back to CPU or to RAM. The percent here of CPU is actually divided by 4, so that's a 20% over the full system. Here's a 40%. 4 would be 16% of the system. These images won't resize until I hop out and in. That's a minor bug I've reported separately, so don't worry too much about that right now. But again, I'm just watching memory. I can show you that other bug, I guess, if we jump to this, hop out and hop back. It did resize properly, it just didn't dynamically refresh as I was dragging the slider. page relocating has really bumped my memory sometimes too. Just playing around just a bit here. We should be pretty close to getting that bloom warning of the memory use warning. There it is. So once we hit 850, we get that. We're at 933 now. Again, it just doesn't seem to give it back. I am now using a 6-page book. I've done a moderate amount of clicking around between pages, but nothing intense. I think a user drafting isn't going to be bouncing around between pages as much as I am, but someone reviewing a text or just doing some editing is going to want to do this, and we're just all of a sudden really to an unusable state with memory use. So okay, that's it for now. Sorry for the long video. Just wanted to give a little bit of a live visual of how things are working.